Jackson State, the JSU Tigers got another dominant win over Mississippi Valley State as we continue to essentially what they've already clinched a share, at least of the SWAC East title, what that means, and why they will be hosting a SWAC championship game at the Vet if they continue to do what they're doing. Let's talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYjr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload all the time. Now, Jackson State with a resounding 51-14 victory over Mississippi Valley State. Jackson State continues to roll as they're 8-2 on the year, 6-0 in conference after their latest conference win, and they just completed the trifecta that I said they needed to complete and dominate, and they did exactly that. The trifecta of games that saw them play Bethune-Cookman, UAPB, and Valley all within a 3-week stretch after beating FAMU. They needed to go in, win those games, but not just win them, but dominate them. You started with Bethune beating them by 20 points. You went on to beat UAPB with all the controversy that came behind that, but you handled business 41-3, and then you go on to beat Valley 51-14. It was more of the same for JSU. JSU is one of the more, if not the most dominant team on the ground in the SWAC. Not just the SWAC East, but in the entire conference, led by Irv Mulligan, who I think will end up being first team all SWAC, even though he missed, 3 games. Irv Mulligan finished with 187 on the ground, 10 yards per carry in a touchdown. Jacobian Morgan added a touchdown, and then the dynamic freshman, Travis Terrell, averaging 10 yards a carry himself, got into the end zone twice. And we saw other folks, young players like Nate Blunt IV and Kobe Boykins get some time. Kobe Boykin is one that's going to be special. JSU, if you like Travis Terrell, Kobe Boykin is essentially one of the same type of back. I'm not saying he's the same back, but he's the same type. He is the one that you got to hold your breath every time he gets the ball because he's someone who is very, very explosive. He was a high 3-4-star type of recruit that they're looking to hold on to and build around him and Travis Terrell. And I'm not going to sleep on Nate Blunt as well. Jacobian Morgan was solid. 10 of 23, under 50% completion percentage, but once again, the running game was on point. He threw a touchdown. Hell, even Zy McDonald even came in and threw a 30-yard touchdown as well, 29 yards. And then the defense did their thing. You know, Valley was making this interesting. This was a 13-14 game with JSU or Valley being up 13-14 at one point in the second quarter. And then from there, JSU's defense became smothering like we've known them to be at different points of the season. Jackson State continues to dominate. They went through the 3-game stretch that I said. They not only needed to win, but to dominate to kind of wrap up everything and almost assure themselves a SWAC championship game that'll be played at the Vet. And now you're getting to games that have a little more at stake, get into games where the competition level is a little closer to what you are as opposed to what your opponents are. And that is over these next 2 games where you have to take on Bama State and Alcorn. Let me go ahead and share my screen and show you the schedule. Now, this is the part of the schedule we talked about. You handle your business in those 3-game stretch, UAPB, Bethune-Cookman, and Valley. Now you finish the season with a better you up the competition level with Alabama State. Their quarterback situation is still shaky, but that is better competition. And then, of course, you go to Lorman to take on your rival Alcorn State, where you have to take care of business. And from there, you will host a SWAC championship game. But you have 2 games to decide whether you're going to get to 10 wins or not. Think about this, guys. After the loss to Grambling earlier this year, where they turned the ball over 5 times, they didn't look like a 10-win team. They looked like a team that could be in competition for the SWAC East title, or they could potentially win the SWAC, but not really. Not the way they turned the ball and played that day against Grambling. Since then, 6 straight victories. Since then, 8-2 on the year. Since then, they have gained control and total momentum, not just of the SWAC, but to me, to show that they're the best team in HBCU football. Because FAMU went on to lose the Prairie View, and North Carolina Central lost to South Carolina State. Now, South Carolina State is looking like the real deal over in the MEAC. But right now, the SWAC, I think, runs through Jackson. And if you told me to choose a team who would win in a Celebration Bowl type environment, South Carolina State with Eric Phoenix, who I think is the best quarterback in HBCU football, and Chennis Berry and that defense over at South Carolina State, those boys down in Orangeburg who play like hell every single time they go out there, I'm still choosing TC Taylor and the Jackson State Tigers. That's just me. Call it homer bias, whatever. That's who I'm choosing. I like JSU's defense to be able to lock up what Eric Phoenix is able to do, what Chennis Berry wants to do with Eric Phoenix. And I think the running game of JSU is just too potent. You have too many weapons, and Irv Mulligan, Travis Terrell. Now you're able to get a guy like Kobe Boynton or Nate Blunt involved. And then all you need is your wide receivers to get back healthy and to make some plays for you. And I think JSU wins that game. With senior night in the Jack senior night in Jackson, some very, very special players to this program were honored. And I think TC, he's figured this thing out. He's figured this head coaching thing out. He's figured the SWAC out, and he's 8-2 in the catbird seat to host the SWAC championship game. He, at least at the very bare minimum, is going to be tied for SWAC East title, but I think he's going to win it outright when he goes and beats up on Alabama State next week and finish this thing with a perfect conference record after he wins against Alcorn and Norman. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below as Jackson State gets another dominant victory over Valley to complete the 3-game stretch that I said they needed to dominate. They dominated all 3 games, with the closest win being by 3 touchdowns. It's pretty freaking good. Shout out to JSU and Coach TC Taylor. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is JeffLightsYJr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, because I upload all the time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Also, you can follow me on X and Instagram at JLightsy7. That is on X and Instagram at JLightsy7. Hit that thumbs up button before you get out of here, and I will see you next time. Peace.